Big Apple, 3 a.m. Alley Cat Blues. Sewer surfing. Technodrome. Let's kick shout. Prehistoric Turtlesaurus. and crossbones.
All right, and we're live, and that's apparently, according to Streamlabs, way too fucking loud. So, yeah, Streamlabs has me going way well into the red there. So hopefully that's not blowing out your fucking speakers. I don't know. I know Boomer Bechtloff once again can't do the technology. Here I am talking, and it says starting soon, but we're not starting soon. We've already started. Okay. So, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Well, we got some videos we're going to watch. Let's see. Sorry, folks. My sidekick's running a little late. Okay. Yes, Boomerloff, indeed. He's broadcasting from the underground. You're damn right I am. Coming straight out the underground. We're going to talk about Ben Shapiro a little bit tonight. Because, sweet Jesus, I hate Ben Shapiro. Me and everyone else under 40. And BronyCon ended. I think we might touch on that. We're going to probably touch on Mia Khalifa. She's been bitching up a storm here lately. BronyCon ended. We might touch on that. Did I say that already? I don't know. Did I? Who knows? I'm a retard. But we're gonna talk about Ben Shapiro a little bit first. Oh wait, no, you know what? Let's get some stuff out of the way. Some more Epstein little nuggets. So here's an interesting thing. Epstein, when he totally hung himself, and you're crazy if you think otherwise, he broke a bone. I believe it's right behind the Adam's apple, and I'm too lazy to look. It's called I don't know. It sounds like Hyrule, like Hylian bone or something. I don't know. But he broke some bone that is extremely uncommon to break when you are hanging. Apparently only small children or very frail elderly are likely to break this bone. A healthy adult male, like Epstein, is, I heard, a 6% chance of breaking this bone. It is, however, very, very common to break this bone when you are when you're being strangled to death. But not very common to break that bone when you're hanging. So that's an interesting little tidbit there. Of course, he totally hung himself, though. So you're crazy if you think otherwise. And what else? Oh yes. Let's see if we do we have the image here? I don't know if I have it. Hang on a second, folks. I know Boomerloff here. Boomerloff, totally Boomerloff here. Oh, that's for later. I know. I'm so bad at what I'm doing. So, let's see if we can bring up an image here. Another little interesting tidbit of the Epstein saga. is, let's see, a little painting that was in Epstein's, Jesus Christ. I am fucking this all up. Can we, you know what, let's just bring it up. It's just easier to do it this way. We'll bring it up in the window instead of trying to import it right in here. It's funny, Bill Clinton in blue dress is the first thing that comes up when you're Googling Bill Clinton right now. So Jeffrey Epstein had a painting in his place. And you have to see this to believe it. You probably have seen it, but we're going to show it once more. There it is, folks. That is Bill Clinton in, I guess, Monica Lewinsky's blue dress. I don't know, in a blue dress and heels. That is a painting that Jeffrey Epstein has for some reason. Devil in a blue dress right there. Why does he have that, you might ask? That's an excellent question. That is an excellent question. Why would anyone have such a thing? But obviously, he just committed suicide, and you're a fool if you think otherwise. You are an absolute fool if you think otherwise. Let me, real quick. Hey, Luke, how's it going?
Hello, my fellow conspiracy theorists. How are things?
Good. All right, sounds like you're loud enough too for the audience. So, of course, we were just discussing before you came in, Luke, about how Jeffrey Epstein totally killed himself, and you're crazy if you think otherwise.
We all know that it's so easy to kill yourself in a high-tech prison with security cameras and no cloths to hang yourself.
Well, I mean, when the security camera conveniently shits the bed, it's a lot easier to kill yourself.
And the security guards, I'm sure, has any report on it.
So here's some more news from the Daily Wire. Now, the Daily Wire is a news site that is owned by, perhaps you've heard of him, a little man, very little, known as Ben Shapiro.
Oh,
very little man. I believe he comes from the village that Willow comes from. But very little man, and he owns the Daily Wire. And the Daily Wire, they were doing some shady stuff here recently. I know, a man like Ben Shapiro doing shady stuff. I was as shocked as you guys. So we're gonna do a little screen sharing here. Let me go ahead here, and we're back to the address. Okay, so can everybody see this? Yep. All right, you guys can see it. So this is a tweet. Stay classy, real Daily Wire. So what had happened? The Daily Wire. Now they've deleted this tweet, but the Daily Wire, you might be able to see it here. It's a little scrunchy, but introducing Dumpy, the Democrat dumpster fire. It's a cute and fiery dumpstery. Get yours before the real damn dumpster fire debates. And it was something a little image that you could get, I guess, on like T-shirts and stuff of the Democrat logo on a dumpster fire. The problem is, Daily Wire essentially stole this from an artist. It's not exactly the same. Let's see, here you'll see. Here's a better image. Yeah, it's not exactly the same as the artist, like completely, but it's the same. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. Like here's the.
I haven't seen anything like this since the creator of Adventure Time plagiarized other people.
So here is the Daily Wire's thing, and then here is the dumpster fire that this artist created. Now again, it's not exactly the same image, but it's the same image. I mean, you could maybe fight this in court, but it's very clear that they saw this artist's image and ripped it off. They didn't lift it whole cloth. They had someone else redraw it. It looks like, but yeah, it's pretty clear they ripped this off. And the Daily Wire has they went ahead and deleted this product, I believe, off their site, and the tweet in which they're pimping it, and but they didn't apologize to the artist. They didn't address it. None of that. And so, yeah, that's just an interesting little thing. Of course, the Daily Wire would act that way. Of course, Ben Shapiro would act that way. But we got some more Ben Shapiro stuff we're going to talk about. We're going to have Ben Shapiro explain to us stupid goys how Jeffrey Epstein totally committed suicide, and we are all crazy if we think otherwise. But before before we get to that, I just realized I also had an article from the Daily Dot addressing this controversy. So we'll read through this a little bit. Now, the Daily Dot, I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head, but I think this is some leftist shit rag. But here we go. We'll look at the Daily Dot. The Daily Wire accused of stealing art design from pop artists for its merchandise. Really lame move of the Daily Wire to rip me off. 100% Soft, a business that sells pop art, is accusing the Daily Wire of stealing one of its art designs for a new product trying to sell it on Amazon. The design in question is a small blue smiley dumpster on fire. Truck Tolerance, the artist behind the design, tweeted Friday that they have been using it for years now. It's completely disheartening, overwhelming, and shitty to have to keep dealing with art theft, Tolerance tweeted. Real lame move of Daily Wire to rip me off. And you can see they were selling a little figurine of it, too. That's kind of cool. I think if I saw that in a store, I might buy that. The Daily Wire, a right-wing news organization, posted a picture of its new merchandise featuring the dumpster. This is the other thing, okay, it's a smiling dumpster fire. They could have changed it a little bit more and probably avoided this controversy. They didn't just lift the design. They had someone else redraw it. So you couldn't have said to that artist, take this idea and put your own spin on it. You couldn't have done that. I mean, you could have changed maybe the way the face looked or something. Whatever. You could have changed. I mean, it's a pretty, look, the artist that drew this for 100% Pop is not the first person to use the phrase dumpster fire, okay? And they're probably not the first person to put a happy face on it. So you could have changed it enough that it would have been your own thing. But see, a guy like Ben Shapiro, he doesn't think he has to.
Bechtloff, I just found this article from July 12, 2019. It says, adorable dumpster fire toys coming to San Diego Comic-Con 2019. Gee, this has been around for a while. Let me I'll send you the article.
All right. Okay, so the only visible change made to the design featured on the Daily Wire shirts is the added of the Democrat D on the dumpster fire. The D stands for Democrat, yeah. Again, yeah, they clearly redrew it, but it's the exact same design. Introducing Dumpy the Democrat dumpster fire, the Daily Wire word on Friday, along with the Amazon link to purchase the shirt in a now deleted tweet. Isn't he cute and fiery and dumpstery? Get yours before the next damn dumpster fire debates. Tolerance tweet calling out the Daily Wire is gaining some traction online. Thousands of people have shared the tweet, with some commenting that the design theft, unfortunately, is all too common occurrence that the artists are faced with. Patton Oswalt retweeted it, which, he's a piece of shit, but that certainly boosted the thing. Priscilla Page, I don't know who she is. Many Twitter users tagged Amazon to let them know Daily Wire was allegedly using stolen art. Tolerance also reached out to Amazon's copyright infringement department. According to one of the artist's tweets, the Daily Wire products have since been taken down from Amazon. The Daily Wire is known for its main podcast, The Ben Shapiro Show. By the way, The Ben Shapiro Show, at least in my area, is now on talk radio from 3 to 6. They bumped Michael Savage off of the 3 to 6 slot, which is when he's live, to put fucking Ben Shapiro on. I think they bumped Savage to 9 to midnight or something. Now, Savage is the number 2, usually, depending on exactly how you measure it. Talk radio host in the country, right behind Rush. Frankly, the only person that, if you count online stuff, the only person that's as high as Savage is good old Alex Jones. So Savage, while he doesn't get he doesn't get enough acknowledgement in Conservatism Inc., he's a major force in the right, much more relevant than Ben fucking Shapiro. But Ben Shapiro gets the fucking slot because Ben Shapiro's whole goddamn life has been failing up. Never forget, Ben Shapiro got a column on WorldNet Daily when he was a 19-year-old law student. Now, again, WorldNet Daily, that's nothing right now, but 2003, being on WorldNet Daily meant something. And he was just given that column for no fucking reason. Well, the reason is his daddy bought it for him. Let's see. The Daily Wire, blah, 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 is known for its main podcast, Ben Shapiro Show. The organization is also known for publishing a slew of anti-LGBTQ LMNOP sexist and racist remarks, according to Media Matters. All right, we're done with this article. Okay, yeah, I get it. They're right-wing, they make your pussy hurt. That's fine. That's fucking fantastic.
They're going to take this argument of legitimate criticism to conveniently veil their their ultimate goal criticism.
Somebody says Ben Shapiro has Holly weirdo parents that backed him with the trial. Oh yeah, Ben Shapiro, it's pure nepotism. I love my dad was trying to defend him to me, and he doesn't even like Ben Shapiro that much. But he's like, he's a young man. He's 2 years younger than you, and look how far he's come. I'm like, yeah, that's because you didn't buy me a fucking column at WorldNet Daily when I was 19. Like, of course he's there. You think this is organic? Oh, I didn't know he had rich parents. Of course he does. Yeah, the littlest chicken hawk. Adorable dumpster fire toys. I don't know why that one of the dumpster fire things has a blue fire coming out of it. That reminds me of the blue fire in Ocarina of Time that would freeze stuff.
It's a chemical fire.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna watch some Ben Shapiro. Now, Luke, you might be a little bit behind on me. I guess just the way Discord works and all, so you might not hear this on this same level I am. But I'll tell you what, I'll throw you a link to the video so you can watch it at the same time I am or whatever. But we're gonna watch some Ben Shapiro. We're gonna have him explain to us why we're all crazy for not believing the official story with Epstein. Because surely the official story holds water. Let's see. Go back to screen share.
It's interesting what conspiracy theories he won't buy into. Despite, because Razorfist had that whole point where he points out that even Ben Shapiro actually thinks that Michael Jackson was a pedophile.
Of course he does. It's interesting. It's mostly it's 3.8 thousand likes, 3.9 thousand dislikes. So that's interesting. Let me give you another dislike there, Ben. All right, so let's listen to Ben Shapiro. All right.
Jeffrey Epstein commits suicide within days of being taken.
Okay, I gotta pause already. I'm sorry, folks. Hang on a second.
Jeffrey.
Sorry, I gotta catch this.
Commits
only a few seconds in.
I gotta catch this. Look at this fucker. Look at this fucker. How does anyone take him seriously? He looks like a serial killer. He looks like Damien from The Omen, all grown up. How is anyone like, oh yes, please tell me what I should think there, Benji?
It's a lot more intimidating when you're on the receiving end.
Please, 33-year-old creepy fucking... He looks like the Angry Merchant cartoon, the younger years. Yes, please, you creepy little fucking Bugman nerd. Please tell me what I should think. Wait, get in your locker first. Then why don't you tell me about the Epstein conspiracy? Oh, man. All right, sorry, folks, I know. 6 seconds in, I had to stop.
Jeffrey Epstein commits suicide within days of being...
Okay, I'm sorry, I gotta pause again. It's gonna be a long night. Why is there the fucking delay? Why is there this massive fucking delay of like him getting this dead air of everybody? Isn't this a professional show? Why does he have my kind of fucking editing standards? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. It's gonna be a long night.
I mean, I guess they don't want to be accused of editing, so they just do the live performance on redistribute the live performance.
Jeez. Oh, are we live?
Jeffrey Epstein commits suicide within days of being taken off suicide watch. Conspiracy theorists, including the president, jump on board, and Democrats launch some conspiracies of their own. I'm Ben Shapiro. This is The Ben Shapiro Show.
At some point, can we stop saying conspiracy theorists? Like, I'm sorry, at this point, you're the conspiracy theorist if you actually believe he committed suicide. You're the fucking crazy one. Nobody believes that. Left, right, or center.
Even Cenk Uygur and AOC thinks there's something suspicious about this.
Of course they do. Look, everybody thinks this is suspicious. The only difference is people disagreeing on who did it. Okay, yeah, like if you're on the left, you're probably going on about, I don't know, Trump did it or the Russians did it or some shit like that. You know, you might think the Clintons did it. You might think, I don't know, fucking the CIA did it. Mossad did it. You know, who the fuck knows, okay? You could list just about anybody. You could tell me, oh shit, I don't know, the blonde girl from Lizzie McGuire did it. And that would be more like with her bare hands. And that would be more fucking likely than the official story. Nobody fucking buys this except for a bunch of fucking media shills and neocons, of course. God, I hate the neocons so much. God, we are 15 seconds in, and I've paused like a dozen fucking times.
No, we apologize for the slight delay in bringing you today's show. I had to forcibly take over Andrew Klavan's studio and expel him physically from that studio. The good news is I own the studio, so there's nothing he can do about that. We'll get to the news in just 1 second. First, you may have noticed.
I noticed he has a chat. I'm surprised he doesn't have that censored. Clinton did it. Oy vey, the goyim, no. Oh God, the chat's gonna be entertaining as fuck. I didn't know he had a live chat with this shit.
That the economy seems like it's on the brink of something. There are banks today, Bank of America, suggesting there's a 1 in 3 chance of a recession. There's a lot of geopolitical tension, ranging from Iran to China. Obviously, tariffs are impacting the markets in a heavy way. This might be a good time for you to diversify into gold. Can you afford another hit to your retirement like the last downturn when the S&P...
Oh, for fuck's sake. Now he's shilling gold. Oh, God. Can we skip ahead a little bit? I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Yeah, okay. Yeah. By the way,
they actually left the chat on.
By the way, this company, if I'm not mistaken, is one of those ones that sells you a fucking piece of paper that says you own gold. They don't even sell you actual, like, they don't even mail you physical fucking gold. God, I love the chat fucking trolling him. Okay, this is epic. Fucking creeper. Like, yeah, we're not going to listen to Ben fucking push, you know, here's a piece of paper, Goyim, that says you own gold. And buy some Bowen brand sheets. Yeah, we're not going to do that.
Wasn't that currency before this? Wasn't that what dollars used to be?
Yeah, no shit. Aren't I supposed to already have pieces of paper in my wallet that say I own gold? Oh, that's right. We changed that. Oh, God.
Minister and the owner of a large hotel chain. None of the men named have been charged with a crime, and all have denied inappropriate behavior. Apparently, there are also accusations, according to another one of the women who dealt with Epstein, that Epstein was basically sexually voracious and thus preyed on girls at an insane rate. Juan Alessi, Epstein...
This show is so fucking unprofessional. He doesn't have he doesn't have anything. This show is like a high-end fucking YouTube show, and this is on talk radio.
Glenn Beck is far more professional than this.
Like, you might as well put the Revenge of the Sis guys on talk radio then. They're like fucking funny. They have more fucking, despite having, I guarantee you, not 1 fucking % of the budget of this man. They have a more fucking professional and tightly put together show. I'm at a loss of how he can be this bad at this. Like, yeah, I know I suck at this, okay? Yeah, I know. My show's fucking unprofessional as hell, okay? But, like, I'm sitting here, you know, in my fucking den doing this shit on a Saturday evening as a hobby, okay? For a handful of shekels here and there. Oh, good God. I'm sorry. I know I'm part. This is an hour-long fucking thing. We're not going to get through all this, I don't think. But I don't know, guys. It's just there's just so much to dissect here. I've never really sat down and watched one of his fucking things before.
You're very present entertainment alone, Bechtloff. You just keep it going.
I heard a little bit of his shit on the radio before, as much as I could tolerate. Like, that's how I knew he was on the 3 to 6 slot. I think it was one of the days where my schedule got shifted later in the evening because of heat waves. I had gone to like Chick-fil-A in the afternoon, and that's how I heard him. Like, it was just in the car. And it's like, I don't know. It's just so fucking shitty. Like, this guy, he sucks. He just sucks.
A former house manager testified he saw probably over 100 girls serve Epstein at his Palm Beach home over 10 years. After each encounter, Leslie said he would clean up the home's upstairs massage room. On multiple occasions, he said he found sex toys and put them in Maxwell's closet because he knew that's where they kept such items, along with a shiny black costume. This is all really disgusting, obviously. And these revelations...
He's so bad at this. He's just so bad at this.
Came as of Friday. So there was a lot of talk about whose name was going to drop next. What were the next steps in the Epstein trial?
I love this down here. Fusses, can't wait for Echo Shapiro. Echo's hot take on this.
Within 24 hours of all of
yeah, hot take that he's reading an article first before he jumps right into it. I mean, you could at least try to put your appearance out first.
Like, does he not do any fucking show prep? Does he not just have the snippets of the article? Like, I don't do much show prep. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I know, big fucking shock. But, you know, this isn't my job. This is a side hustle. He doesn't have to do anything else but this. This is literally sitting in front of this fucking podcast of a radio show for 2 fucking hours, for an hour, apparently. I guess this is an hour. I guess minus all the fucking talk radio commercials, it's an hour. But this is all he has to do, and he doesn't do anything. You lazy little fucking short-peckered motherfucker.
Committed suicide, and apparently committed suicide. It was just 11 days
removed. Again with the evil fucking... Every time he looks up like that, I swear to God, I feel like I should be hearing people chanting in Latin. Like some chick should be throwing herself off a roof. It's all for you, Benjamin!
From being on suicide watch. According to CBS News, Epstein, who is facing federal sex trafficking charges, died Saturday from an apparent suicide, federal officials said. The Federal Bureau of Prisons said in a statement the FBI was investigating his death. Epstein, who is 66, was found unresponsive in his cell at a holding facility in New York City at around 6:30 a.m., according to the statement.
By the way, in the chat right here, it says Ben flew on the Lolita Express. I actually doubt that. I don't think Ben Shapiro is shilling because he's connected. I think Ben Shapiro is shilling because he wants to be connected. I think that the reality is that Benji over here, he wants to be flying on the Lolita Express. He's just not cool enough to get invited. That is the reality of Ben Shapiro. He's like the supervillain that none of the other supervillains didn't like, so he wants to join the Legion of Doom, but Lex Luthor won't invite him. Like, that's Ben Shapiro. He's Kite Man. For those of you comic fans like me, there's a deep cut reference there. He's Kite Man. Ben Shapiro is fucking Kite Man. I know, you could change one letter in that name and it would be shockingly accurate, wouldn't it? But I said kite. K-I-T-E. He's Kite Man.
Staff at the Metropolitan Correctional Center tried to revive him. He was eventually taken to a hospital where he was pronounced dead. The New York City Medical Examiner's Office was also investigating Epstein's cause of death. A spokesperson told CBS News, and will conduct an autopsy and toxicology test to determine the cause. There's a statement put out by the medical examiner's office saying they were still going to determine cause of death. That doesn't mean they suspect homicide. It means they still have to finally determine cause of death, although they think they know what happened here.
Everybody knows what happened, Ben. The question is who?
Prosecutors in New York alleged Epstein abused dozens of underage girls as young as 14. Epstein was found injured on the floor of his cell in late July. At the time, law enforcement sources told CBS News that Epstein was found semi-conscious with slight bruising around his neck, so apparently he tried to hang himself at that juncture, and he was put on suicide watch. So,
from what I understand, in that first quote-unquote suicide attempt, there was a lot of bruising around his asshole, too. I don't know if that's very common in suicide attempts. But I've never tried to commit suicide, so I don't know. Maybe something about getting choked causes your asshole to bruise. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I couldn't tell you.
There's all sorts of weird stuff surrounding this particular suicide, and it's leading a lot of people toward conspiracy theories. The chief medical examiner, Dr. Barbara Sampson, released a statement on Sunday saying that her office had conducted an autopsy on Epstein, but that the medical examiner's determination is pending further information at this time. She said this is routine. She said, I allowed a private pathologist to observe the autopsy, which is routine. My office defers to the involved law enforcement agencies regarding other investigations around...
He's so fucking bad at this. I can't get over it. Like, why? You have no camera presence. Why you even put yourself on camera? He's not that I want his creepy ass to make eye contact with the camera again, because again, I keep hearing Latin chanting, and I hear the sounds of pigs being slaughtered, and I hear children weeping, and men are gnashing their teeth every time this fucking demon looks me in the eyes. But that's like, why don't you look at the camera ever? Why aren't you addressing the audience, you little fucking goblin?
This death. A lot of Epstein's victims are upset because they felt like this was their chance at justice. Attorney General William Barr says the investigation will continue. There are associates and co-conspirators with Epstein who will, in fact, be on the hook for whatever crimes they committed. So this thing does not end with Epstein being dead.
This sex trafficking case was very important to the Department of Justice and to me personally. But let me assure you that this case will continue on against anyone who was complicit with Epstein. Any co-conspirators should not rest easy. The victims...
The Revenge and Assist guy said this guy looks like John Goodman, and I cannot unsee that now. I really can't.
Deserve justice, and they will get it.
So, the conspiracy chatter picked up almost immediately. You had dueling hashtags on Twitter that were trending. One was Trump body count, and the other was Clinton body count. There was
No. You had the Clinton body count hashtag trending, and then you had the Trump body count artificially inflated by Twitter. I love how he says the Trump one first, too. You sneaky little fucker. But no, don't give me that shit, Ben. You fucking... Oh, you little fucker.
By the right that Clinton body count wasn't trending because Twitter is biased to the left. Certainly Twitter is biased to the left. I don't know why that wasn't trending. The fact is, this was neither Trump nor Clinton by all available evidence.
I don't know why that wasn't trending. Gee. Well, why do you think, Ben? Do you have any fucking theories?
Oh, Bechtloff, I have a little gift for you in the Skype.
Oh, jeez. Oh, good God. I have to throw that up at some point. Oh, Luke, you're killing me.
But you saw that implication put forward by a variety of sources. MSNBC's Joy Reid actually suggested that Attorney General William
excuse
Barr
me, what you guys are engaging in is domestic terrorism, okay? If you don't
What
believe
the hell?
that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself by tying his neck with toilet paper and doing a cannonball off the balcony, you're a threat to America.
Oh, God. I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting fucking mods have access to it's Discord.
Oh, no.
But yeah, all right. Keep it down, guys. Well, I'll let y'all play later. But right now we gotta listen to our betters explain to us here, Goyam, What the fuck really happened?
Let's ask him afterwards. Let's have him commentate on it.
The facts don't care about your feelings, okay, Goyam? Buy Birch Gold. It's gold that you'll never actually own.
Buy Happy Merchant Gold.
Oh, we have a Davis and Ben Shapiro in our stream. We have to do this. We have to make a meme about this or something.
Buy Bull. The Revenge of the Cis guys had the funniest joke where they're like, buy Bowen Brown sheets. It's the sheets I cut a hole in to have sex with my wife. Otherwise, I go to Jewish hell. Oh, God. Oh, Lordy.
Anyway, I had to do that. That was just too funny of a joke. I had to.
Oh, Lordy. All right, let's keep going. we gotta hear. So come on, this guy is easily the 15th or 16th most listened to fucking talk radio host that is on every fucking channel for some reason. We gotta hear him out. We're only 6 minutes into this 55-minute fucking video. God, this is gonna... I had a bunch of other stories lined up. I don't know if we're getting to them.
Death at Trump's behest, because Trump, of course, was friends with Jeffrey Epstein.
The investigation of Epstein's death now falls into the hands of William Barr, Donald Trump's consigliere and attorney general, who refused to recuse himself on the Epstein case despite his association with a law firm once involved.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. As crazy as Shanane's theory over here that Trump killed Epstein is, because look, they have not been able to find any real connection. And after this past week, I'm not exactly fucking MAGA country over here, all right? But they have not been able to find any real connection of Trump to Epstein. They found sometimes they were at a similar party, whatever. Epstein ran in the circle of billionaires. That was bound to happen. Trump threw him out of a club Trump owned. And there's no evidence that Trump ever went to this man's island or flew on his plane. They thought they had evidence of, like, one time that he flew on the plane, but not to the island, and even that turned out to be bullshit. So, all that said, though, the idea that Trump killed this man is far, far more likely than the official story. I don't think that's what happened, but it's more likely than the official story. Okay? The official story has about the same odds of being true as my Powerball ticket has of winning tonight.
Jews were very important in creating this doctrine of white privilege, and once you understand it, what looks to the untrained eye like anti-white racist contradictions on the parts of Jews actually begin to make more sense.
Oh, man. Somebody says video games killed Jeffrey Epstein. That more fucking likely than the official story. That a video game came to life and killed him is more like that. A fucking imp from Doom came out of the computer like fucking Tron or some shit and went and murdered this man for no reason is more likely than the idea that he killed himself.
With Epstein, whose father once hired Jeffrey Epstein as a teacher with neither experience nor degree, and whose prime directive is to protect Donald Trump, no matter what.
Okay, so there she is putting out her own conspiracy theory. Then President Trump, in his own inimitable fashion, decided, you know, it'd be a great idea. I'm going to retweet whatever I feel like, and I feel...
What are you writing? God, I hate when they do that. Oh, I hate when they do that. It's like, I look professional if I go and I just... And he doesn't even act like he's writing something. The pen didn't touch paper for more than a second. You're so bad at this, pen. God. At least doodle something. At least look like you're really writing. No, you're over there like, what, did you cross something out? Like, okay, I remembered to talk about how... Does he have a list of all the things he wants to talk about? Like, okay, yeah, we covered fucking Shanae on MSNBC. God, I hate this man so much.
Retweeting a wild conspiracy theory. So he retweeted a...
That's not even a good Trump voice, you little Like, I can't do impressions for shit, and I don't generally try to do them. But I'm just amazed at how fucking devoid of talent and charisma this man is. And he's considered a rising star in the right. Oh, I hate this man so much.
From a guy named Terrence Williams on Twitter. And the tweet says, died of suicide on 24/7 Suicide Watch? Yeah, right. How does that happen? Hashtag Jeffrey Epstein had information on Bill Clinton, and now he's dead. I see Trump body count trending, but we know who did this. Retweet if you're not surprised. Hashtag Epstein suicide, hashtag Clinton body count, hashtag Clinton crime family. And then he released a little video discussing why he thought that the Clintons had murdered Jeffrey Epstein. Now, this has been a long-standing meme on the right, is that the Clintons routinely murder their political opponents. Not a lot of evidence to suggest that that is true, despite why...
Are you fucking kidding me? Look, this alone, I don't care who you are, you don't have 57 friends that commit suicide. Not a lot of evidence to suggest that is true. First of all, of course there wouldn't be a lot of evidence. Pardon me. Because while most of that was going on, the Clintons controlled the Justice Department and there were no investigations. I hate this man so much.
Widespread speculation about characters including Vince Foster, for example. President Trump tweeted that out, and that was awkward. Here's a little bit of that Terrence Williams video in which he talks about all of this.
Shaking my head. I'm not surprised. I told y'all last month this was gonna happen, but didn't nobody want to listen to me. But then guess what? Next month he dead, and you know what? All the liberals were calling me a conspiracy theorist, saying, Terrence, you coming up with crazy conspiracies, and you need to be banned from Twitter. And then guess what? The man really ended up dead. And you know what? He had information on the Clintons, and the man ended up
Okay, that's
dead.
enough of that. So Trump actually...
That's enough of that. I've had enough of this sassy black gay man over here. Look, I'm not a fan of whoever the fuck that was. He seems obnoxious as hell. But I'd rather listen to 3 hours of him on talk radio than you. I say as I'm plowing through an hour of this fucking little manlet.
Tweeted that. Trump actually retweeted that. Now, number one, this wasn't the Clintons, okay? As we will see, this is wild incompetence by jail officers, which, frankly, is not all that uncommon.
As we will see, he's going to prove it to us, guys. Case closed. Yes, incompetence in the correctional institution is not uncommon. However, when you have the most high-profile prisoner in the country, yes, it's uncommon. This wasn't some random 19-year-old they caught on a DUI charge. Give me that shit. Like, you're not this stupid, Ben. You have many faults, but you're not this stupid. You're lying to us.
I mean, it is unfortunate truth of life that human beings are wildly incompetent generally. It is also another unfortunate truth that treatment in American prisons, it depends on the prison, but many prisons are horribly run. The guards don't do their jobs to the apex of their abilities. They feel like they're dealing with criminals, and therefore they sort of slack off of it. It's not an indictment of all prison officers by any measure. A lot of prison officers, probably the vast majority of prison officers, do their job with honor and diligence, but there are going to be some who do not, obviously.
And I guess we're going to take those some who do not, and we're going to get the guy in charge of the prison. Because look, every time, any place you work at, there's your guys who are better at something. There's your guys that are a bit of a fuck up. So I guess the guy in charge of the prison was like, yeah, put Gary in charge of the Epstein case, even though he's a big fuck up. Is that what happened, Ben? Is that what happened? Somebody in the chat, in Ben's chat here. Anyone buying this? LOL. Somebody else? He's being paid. No, I think Ben just wishes he was being paid by the powers that be. Oy vey, it's incompetence. Don't use your brain. So he says this prison literally had a perfect record. Yeah, this prison has not had a suicide, at least on Suicide Watch, in like 30 years. I don't believe they had a suicide period in 30 years. Nobody's buying this, you little fucking...
And this one falls under Hanlon's razor. Never attribute to malevolence that which you can attribute to human stupidity. And while this all looks very...
So should I attribute the fact that you're so wrong on this to stupidity? Because I don't think you're that stupid, Ben. No one in the chat, no one in your chat thinks you're this stupid, Ben.
Very suspicious because obviously Epstein was the most watched federal prisoner in America. Still, I am much more inclined to chalk this up to prison guards didn't do their job than Bill and Hillary Clinton sneaked somebody into Jeffrey Epstein's cell to kill him.
I cannot get over how evil this man looks. I'm at a loss. Look at this fucker. Like when he walks around, are there just like flies buzzing about, like even during the winter? You know what I mean? Like, do dogs like growl at him or just whimper and run away? I mean, this man looks like a fucking demon. I'm not kidding when I say he looks like Damien from The Omen, all grown up.
His cell. I mean, the lady couldn't even find Wisconsin on a map. I don't think that this has to do with Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton deciding that it's time for Jeffrey Epstein to be offed. Why wouldn't they off him before he was arrested? I mean, the whole thing doesn't make any sense. And as it turns out, there's lots of evidence of incompetence here.
Is there?
Apparently, according to the Associated Press, guards on Jeffrey Epstein's unit were working extreme overtime shifts to make up for staffing shortages the morning of his apparent suicide. A person familiar with the jail's operations told the Associated Press. The person said that the Metropolitan Correctional Center's special housing unit was staffed with one guard working a fifth straight day of overtime and another who was working mandatory overtime. The person wasn't authorized to discuss jail operations.
That alone is suspicious. I'm sorry, look. This is the most high-profile fucking prisoner. You would think if there were 10 people, period, working at that prison, that at least 4 of them would be watching Jeffrey.
Damien! Look at me, Damien! It's all for you!
It's all for you, Ben. That's how we lost Ann Coulter. No, Ann Coulter's actually so thin, she just sort of floated down to the ground like a leaf, and it didn't hurt her.
Publicly spoke Sunday on the condition of anonymity. Epstein's abrupt death cuts short a criminal prosecution that could have pulled back the curtain on the inner workings of a high-flying financier with connections to celebrities and presidents. The jail staff followed to...
Somebody in the chat, it already scrolled by, but was like, you know about incompetence, Ben. You know shit. This guy's so bad at this. And then the other person was like, how do you put it? Shilpiro? Like, yeah, no... Oh, man. Nobody's buying this, Ben.
Failed to follow protocols leading up to Epstein's death, according to a report
from the New York Times,
deepening the fallout from what led to his apparent suicide. The New York Times reports that Epstein was supposed to have been checked by 2 guards in the protective housing unit every 30 minutes.
At Ann Coulter's Twitter feed, and she has an article saying, Jeffrey Epstein spent time alone with young female prisoner visitor, and she says, even less reason to kill himself.
Hey, whose Twitter feed is this?
Ann Coulter's.
Oh.
She doesn't buy this, of course.
No, I just used her as an example of just some right-wing thought that's on Fox News. I just the first name that came to my head. No, I'm sure she doesn't like Ben. You know, women don't like shorter guys in particular, and Ann Coulter's like 7 fucking feet tall, I think. I'm pretty sure Ben's like 2.
He was alone in a cell just 11 days after he'd been taken off suicide watch. That was not supposed to happen. He was supposed to have somebody else in the cell with him. The procedure...
No, I think he did have someone else in the cell with him.
...was not followed that night. Because Epstein may have tried to commit suicide 3 weeks earlier, obviously, that other inmate was supposed to be in there, but the jail recently transferred his cellmate and allowed Epstein to be housed alone, a decision that also violated the jail's procedures. Attorney General William Barr was fighting mad about that today as well. He suggested that there could be prosecution on the table for negligence for some of the people who were associated with all of this. In addition, according to the UK Daily Mail, every 15 minutes, guards are required to make another
Somebody
check.
sent Ben Shapiro a $2 super chat, which do not send him money, by the way. But a $2 super chat that just says ... bruh. Jeez.
On prisoners who are on suicide watch. The decision to remove Epstein from suicide watch has both baffled former wardens and veterans of the federal prison system alike. As Matt Walsh of Daily Wire pointed out,
look at this man. He has no fucking camera presence. It doesn't even look like he knows he's being filmed half the time. Like, how does this man have a show that is nationally syndicated?
Watch while the person commits suicide. So well done, everybody involved. Now, it's Trump's retweet that's getting all the attention today. It is President Trump tweeting out a conspiracy theory that's getting all the attention. We'll get to that in just one moment. Also, I want to discuss why it is that generally people tend to buy conspiracy theories, even though conspiracy theories rarely end up being true.
Is that
We'll
a
get to that
fact?
in just one moment. First,
Like the conspiracy theory that all our powerful people were going down to Jeffrey Epstein's island to rape babies, that of course turned out to not be true, right?
these jailers, they had one job, and they failed to do it. Well, here at the Daily Wire, everybody has a job and they have to do their job. And if they don't do their job, then we can quickly and easily replace them with ZipRecruiter.com, or we can just...
Oh, God. You fucking little... Yeah, you know what? That's an excellent point. You know, here at the Bechtloff podcast, we like to eat jerky. And we get our jerky from Steve's Jerky. Now, Steve's Jerky, unlike the Gold Company that Ben Shapiro was shilling, when you purchase Steve's Jerky, you do not just get a piece of paper that says that you now own jerky. You get actual fucking jerky.
Yeah, anyone who watches Ben Shapiro with any length of time knows this is par for the course for him. He inserts advertisements every single chance he has.
It's so awkward.
That segment was beautiful.
Go to break and play your commercial that you pre-recorded, you little fucking shithead. God, you're like, oh, Bechtloff, you didn't pre-record it, Steve. This is not, I'm sorry to break the news to you guys, it's not a professional show, alright? I barely know how to use Streamlabs, okay? This is not a professional show. But yeah, this is not professional, okay? Ben Shapiro, he's syndicated on the fucking radio. Like, this is supposed to be... This man owns Daily Wire, alright? This is supposed to be a professional fucking establishment. But yes, folks, get you some delicious Steve's Jerky. Absolutely fantastic. Go to facebook.com/Steve's Jerky. I don't have a link in the description right now if you're listening live, but if you're listening later, there will be a link in the description. I'm going to edit that.
And as a customer myself, it is delicious.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I am extremely picky on jerky. I love jerky, but I love only certain brands of jerky. It's got to be... I like it just a little dry generally, but not too dry, you know, when you get that nasty, crumbly stuff. But then it's like, some jerky, it's like you get it, it's just greasy. You know, it's just... No, Steve's Jerky is not like that. It's moist. It's on the moist side of jerky, but it's... I can't describe it. I can't do it justice. It's fantastic. Everybody who's gotten Steve's Jerky loves it, okay? You know, you stupid goyim, buy his fucking Steve's Jerky. I believe Steve's Jerky might be kosher. Not 100% on that. You'll have to ask him. But I think it might be kosher. You know, so maybe Benji can have some. I don't know. Good God. Okay, so let's keep going. Good God, we're gonna be here all. This is worse than getting through one of Arini's gay fucking spurgouts.
New people to bring on board, which we are doing right now. Actually,
yeah, we're not gonna listen to you shill some bullshit.
Widespread incompetence. So as I say, it is very difficult to accept incompetence. It's much easier to simply understand that or believe that people are nefarious, that people are in control. One of the
it's not easy. Just keep going a little bit.
That there's nothing new here. Okay, so for everyone who's expecting his approval rating to plummet, no, we had no expectations. There were no expectations that Trump would not retweet something like this. Does that make it right? No. It
does not right. It's not right that he did. Fuck you. Just fuck you, you creepy little guy. Oh man, I hate this man so much. You know what? We're gonna put a pin in this, guys, because I can't stand to look at this punchable face for much longer. So I think we might resume this, but let's move on to some other topics because I just really want to die every time I look at his face. Oh lordy. Let's see what else we got to talk about here.
Oh, please share my image, please.
Oh, the image. Okay, yeah, sorry. Oh, good God. Actually, you know what? Hang on. Sorry, folks. I know. A super professional show. I'm almost as professional as fucking Ben Shapiro.
Google's making it harder to be more professional.
I'll have 6 seconds of dead air as I stare at my fucking computer when the show starts, and just... I cannot get over how bad that man is at his job. You know, he's sitting there. We remove somebody when they're bad at their job. Do you, Ben? Okay, here we go. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. I know. Highly professional. So Luke did a little image of Ben Shapiro as Kite Man. That is, of course, Kite Man with a K-I-T-E, not something else. Don't think it's something else. Don't show on my YouTube. But there it is. Ben Shapiro as the DC Comics character Kite Man. Trying desperately to join the Legion of Doom, but they don't want him. But meanwhile, he runs around talking about how Lex Luthor did nothing wrong. Oh, Lordy. Okay, so we got some stuff to talk about. All right, so we're going to talk about Mia Khalifa. Now, Mia Khalifa, for those of you who don't know, she was a porn star. She's most famous. You've probably seen her, even if you don't consume porn, and you probably shouldn't. Let's be real. Look, little side note here. Porn's bad for you, all right? If you're jacking it to porn all the time, you should cut that out. It's bad for you. Warp your mind. It's like a mental poison. It's like a mental junk food almost. It's just going to slowly rot you from the inside. Don't have a porn habit. It's bad for you. Now there's a lot of people, in our circles and evangelical circles, right-wing circles, that'll exaggerate how bad it is for you. You're not going to turn into a rapist because you jacked off to one video. It's not going to happen. But it's bad for you. It's not a good habit to have.
I'll tell you won't do much of anything.
But anyways, you probably, even if you don't jack off the porn, you recognize her from memes. Because she did one porn scene where she wore a hijab and I guess, got gangbanged and I don't know, it was like, whatever the fuck happened to her. But she was wearing a hijab. Like, haha, take that, ISIS. And it was funny. Let's be real, it was fucking funny. And, it just became a meme. Everyone passed it around. So she's more famous for that than the porn at this point. But let's hear some people over at The Guardian talking about her porn career and how porn is bad for feminism or something. Why are people silent about abuses and exploitation in porn? I'm not even gonna try and fucking pronounce this woman's name. Her last name looks like the cat walked over the keyboard or something. Oh, good God. Anyways, Mia Khalifa, once a popular adult actor, has revealed not only the pittance she was paid, but also the rampant exploitation in an industry that often seems immune to criticism. What world do you live in that the porn industry is immune to criticism?
It's prostitution.
Yeah, nobody is sitting here like, oh, you can't criticize the whores and whoremongers in the porn industry. No, like maybe you got a handful of left libertarians that are avid defenders, but even most porn like consumers are not out there advocating for it as an art form. Okay. Mia Khalifa, once the most popular porn star on the planet, has done the least sexy thing a woman can do: speak out against the adult industry.
How do they qualify her being the most popular exactly?
I don't know. Like I said, it's been quite a while since I was jacking off to a good amount of porn, so a lot of the current crop I couldn't name. Speak out. We should probably check out that link down the line here. The one that made her rich and famous. Bear that in mind. Oh, okay. Actually, they correct that here. One made her rich and famous. Well, famous at least. Khalifa has been frank about how little she made during her 3-month stint in porn. About $12,000, which is made even more partly given that it has since blocked her getting work in other professions. All right. Let's keep going for a second. I want to dissect this a bit here. She added that she has, quote, never seen a penny, unquote, from a site still hosting videos of her under her name. She does not own the domain name and has been trying to get it altered for years to no avail. Porn corporations prey on callow young women and trap them legally into contracts when they're vulnerable, she said. It's a boner-killing truth ignored by many consumers who visit the site in droves. All right, so a few things I want to tackle here. Number one, you should have read the contract, sweetheart. Don't know what to tell you on that. Number two, if you want to talk about 18, 19-year-old kids getting trapped into terrible things, maybe we could also look at the, student loan fucking industry. Because I think that's probably destroyed more. Now, as for the 12,000, first of all, this woman only had 3 months in porn. How many fucking videos did this woman have? She was insanely well known. Everybody knew who she was. So, what was she banging out 3 or 4 fucking videos a day? What the hell? But let's take a look at what this woman made here. So, 3 months. 3 months, 4 weeks. So she was making about
she was only active between 2014 and 2015.
So she made, I guess, 3 months. It's about 12 weeks. She made about $1,000 a week. Now, I don't know that I'd necessarily call that a pittance, by the way, sweetie. Given that you were young and unskilled and had no qualifications, that's probably the most you could have made. Now, you should have read your contracts a little better, and you probably could have made a little more money.
Although it is kind of patently pathetic. I mean, I can make $1,000 in a month with the less demeaning work.
Well, yeah, but she made $1,000 in a week. That's not nothing.
No, in 2 weeks.
I know, it was 3 months, so 12 weeks, and she made about $12,000. So that's, 4 weeks in a month. 3 months. 12.
She couldn't imagine, I bet.
Yeah, she wasn't. Look, she wasn't starving. All right, let's be real. Not only that, but I doubt that's all she made. I guarantee you, she was probably cam girling. She was probably getting a bunch of thirsty pay piggies sending her money. That's probably what she told the IRS she made. But yeah, I don't really buy that.
To say nothing of maintenance she has to provide for herself.
As for the opportunities that's closed to her, yeah, there's a lot of doors that are closed to her. There's also a lot of doors that are fucking open to her. All right, a lot of doors that aren't open to everybody else. Look, I'm not trying to necessarily defend the porn industry here, but I don't want to hear Mia sing the sad song of her people either. Because, no, you didn't get screwed over that badly. Don't act like you did. You made $1,000 a week, and now, this woman could do just about anything on YouTube and make $1,000 in a day on Super Chats. And she wants to be I don't know. I think later it says she wants to be a fucking football commentator or something. Well, I want to be an astronaut. You don't get to do everything you fucking want. All right, this woman's fine. All right. In the porn industry, there is a belief that anything can and, more importantly, should go. Discourse on how to regulate it is deemed diametrically opposed to its need to be, quote, dirty. A fear of appearing puritanical prohibits any genuine, meaningful critiques of it from the left. I got news for you. The left is fucking puritanical in its own way, leaving it to pearl-clutching conservatives. That's fucking rich. A need to appear liberal and open-minded has left many modern feminists uncharacteristically quiet on the industry's ethics. Again, I don't know where that's coming from. You're hard-pressed to find a quote-unquote sex-positive feminist these days. And because of this, it's held to a completely different standard than any other part of the entertainment industry. Sexual abuse at the hands of music managers is a scandal in porn. It is seen as a hazard in porn, it's seen as a hazard of the job. Yes, because you literally are paying... You're literally a whore. Of course it's just seen as part of the job. By definition, it's part of the job. We chastise the film industry for racially stereotyping characters, but barely blink at the wildly racist caricatures in porn. In cuckolding porn, in which black men are portrayed as perma-erect part animal mandingos, in overtly racist parodies that make light of ongoing atrocities such as Black Wives Matter or Border Patrol sex, as though sexual desire mitigates any type of responsibility. Look, let's be real. The porn industry is always going to be like that. All right? It's the best way you can describe the porn industry as being sort of, a culture's collective id, laid bare. So, of course, there's not going to be a lot of sensitivity regarding racial and gender issues. Khalifa says she, quote, blacked out, unquote, during every single sex scene she shot. Nobody noticed this, presumably because preying on young, vulnerable women is normalized and for many is part of the allure. I doubt it. I really doubt that that's the thing that happened. I want to skip down a little bit. When Khalifa, a Lebanese Catholic, donned a hijab in her most popular video. A Lebanese Catholic. She's Catholic, guys. We should go get it. We should. You know what? A lot of doors. She could maybe co-host a Distributus next week. I don't know. When Khalifa, a Lebanese Catholic, donned a hijab in her most popular video, the outrage was largely from religious extremists, with ISIS threatening her life. The chorus of woke Twitter film critics who regularly harangue Scarlett Johansson for cultural insensitivity regarding the role she takes on were nowhere to be found. Oh no, is there cultural insensitivity in porn? And you have the nerve to say, well, we don't want to be pearl clutchers here, do we? Oh, this is great. Since the article apparently is over, but since you're here, we have a small favor to ask. More people are reading and supporting The Guardian's independent investigative journalism than ever before, and unlike many news organizations, we have chosen an approach that allows us to keep our journalists accessible to all, regardless of where they live or what they can afford. But we need your ongoing support to keep working as we do. So please buy this piece of paper that says you own gold. The Guardian will engage with the most critical issues of our time. Yeah, okay. Please support The Guardian with as little as $1. It only takes a minute. Thank you. How about you please support the Bechtloff with as little as $1, folks? Check out my Patreon, PayPal, and Amazon wishlist are all ways you can support this show. Check out the chat real quick. Somebody in the chat, Donovan Warren says, Miss Khalifa, could you please repeat that with less on? It's hard to take you seriously clothed. But yes, yes, I think she should do a live stream where she just wears the hijab. So, more news. We're gonna. Did y'all know that BronyCon was recently? I guess recently. I'm seeing like what is it? I'm seeing a lot of videos from a year ago when I was searching for it, but there was an article just here today on kpbs.org. Where is this? I guess it's some local. I guess it's off NPR here. But the friends we made along the way, after 9 years, BronyCon calls it quits. Let's read about BronyCon calling it quits, because I think we all need to press F in the chat for poor BronyCon. Somebody in the chat, it was a better run than DashCon. Yes, it was. There's no denying that. You can't take that away from him. On a sweltering Saturday in Baltimore, 11,000 bronies have claimed downtown. Now that is a horror movie right there. These are the fans of the TV show My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. They name a mashup of bro and pony because many of the show's earliest and unanticipated adherents were young men. For 9 years they've evangelized the show, and for 9 years they've been target of scorn. But they've come here for BronyCon, the biggest My Little Pony convention in the world, heedless of what the world may think of them. That's what brought me here, too. I've dodged the brony labels for years, but I can't deny my love for the show, dear Lord. It helped me out in dark times, and I wasn't about to pass up my last chance to join fans at BronyCon. Friendship may be magic, but the magic is fading. The show has entered its 9th and final season. After several years of dwindling attendance, the convention's organizers decided it was time for one last hurrah. The promise of a final party drew record crowds, much as it attracted me. Honestly, I'm shocked we got to this point. We were not expecting to have such a banner year, says current convention chair Sheer Goldberg. We were expecting the fandom to be excited, and maybe we would double our attendance from last year, but clocking in at 7,000 or 8,000 range, but we did not expect 11,000 people to show up. Good God, how bad must that smell? People of all genders and ages, all genders, all of them, because there's many, and ages, many colorfully costumed, paraded down broad convention center halls. They gather for sprawling fan-illustrated card games, spontaneous sing-alongs to music from the show, and choreographed dance numbers. This sounds like hell. Everyone I spoke with waxed reflective, sharing stories of what first hooked them about My Little Pony. Elania Summers, BronyCon's vice chair, says she first approached the show with skepticism, but it won her over with a moment of self-aware comedy. It's the same way you watch Toy Story, and even as an adult, it's an incredibly enjoyable film because the humor works with children and adults. Pony has always been kind of clever, and that's why we have 10,000 people here to celebrate with us. Look, I know people that like that show, okay? And I certainly, there's a lot of kids' cartoons I think are even as an adult, are very entertaining. That's not why everyone hates you, bronies, though. You know damn well why everyone hates you, okay? You just take it to a next level where everyone can't help but hate you. There's two types of nerds in the world. I've found this over the years. There's a type of nerd that when you get to know them, you'll start to appreciate and maybe even like the thing that they like. Like their passion about it is just infectious, you know, and you can't help but get into at least a little bit the thing that they're into. Then there's the type of nerd that annoys the piss out of you about the thing they're nerdy about, and you grow to hate that thing. Bronies tend to way more be in the latter camp.
Hey, every pony. How's my equestrian pony girls doing?
Dear Lord. Dear Lord.
We need to get our mods under control.
I should maybe call you on Skype next time or something. See if that. Okay, yeah. Good Lord. Let's keep going here. Where were we at? Fans say they see themselves reflected in the show's sensibilities, or in a particular character. TJ Carson, who runs fan websites under the moniker Pirate Dash, relates to Rainbow Dash, the high-flying athlete. She's kind of a sporty, brash person, and I'm kind of sporty. I try not to be so brash. For the record, the character who always resonated with me was Twilight Sparkle, a bookish nerd who panics when she's unable to finish her task to her satisfaction, and who regularly reports on lessons she learned about friendship. I hate everything about this article. It's telling that I'm not alone in this. Daniel Chadburn, a psychologist on a team that has studied the phenomenon for nearly a decade, said fans list Twilight Sparkle as the show's most likable character. The fans of this show like the bookish nerd the most. I'm shocked. In addition to her neurotic but engaging personality, Twilight Sparkle's sincere focus on friendship might appeal to viewers who are socially marginalized, you think, and also provide a model of pro-social behavior. Guys, if you're a grown man and you need Twilight Sparkle to teach you how to... Come on, guys. Like, look, I don't want to be somebody who lectures somebody on how to have fun wrong. You're having fun wrong or something like that. Again, if you like the show, you like the show. It's fine. You know, this kid shows I like. I Gravity Falls, I think, is really, really nice. I like We Bare Bears over on Cartoon Network. I've seen a few of those there. I think they're funny as hell. But come on, man. Like, I'm not jacking off to We Bare Bears. All right, I'm not fucking making Gravity Falls into like my life. It's just a funny cartoon I've seen online. Oh, Lord. According to Chadbourne's study, bronies are more likely to donate to charity, less likely to accept gender stereotype, and have 5 to 10 times higher LGBTQ representation than the average U.S. population. How about that? Bronies tend to show that the number one reason they like the show is story and characterization, he says. Very early on, there was the phrase, "What would Pony do?" He added, meaning, how would this character react to this? How should I behave in this matter? This is why everyone hates you guys. Many people flock to the fandom because it provides a creative outlet. Oh yeah, there's been a creative outlet around it already. Not to mention a ready market for their artwork. Their artwork. So this is the moment where if I was editing a video reading this, like as I said, artwork, you would just see like a bunch of horror stories from DeviantArt popping up on the screen. Claire Rebel says she has slipped away from My Little Pony in recent years, but came all the way from England with new pony art for the last BronyCon. I met a lot of people through it, and I met my current boyfriend through it, she says. Where did you meet the guy you fuck in front of your boyfriend, though? And it's really quite changed my life, more than I realized. Revel isn't the only person who met a life partner through the pony fandom. Jason Thiessen, chief director for many seasons of the show and for My Little Pony the movie, says it's part of its lasting impact. People have come together and formed relationships and got married and had kids during the course of the show because of the show. And we were wondering how many kids owe their existence to this show. It's just kind of amazing. I hope none of those kids find out that fact. Children may be the most lasting consequence of the fandom, but showrunner M.A. Larson is thinking of what else its legacy might be. I wonder how the show's going to live on, and will the new generations get the same lessons out of it? He says, many bronies I've talked to compare their plight to that of Star Trek and Doctor Who fans, who had to persist for years without new content. Well, and then poor Star Trek and Doctor Who fans had to persist with shitty new content. While Hasbro, owner of My Little Pony, will doubtless manufacture equine toys and spin-offs for years, they may never catch fire the way My Little Pony Friendship is Magic did. So many fans are moving on, even though they've come back to the last BronyCon to see old friends and relive some of the old magic. The magic was heady stuff for me. My hours at BronyCon threw me back to an earlier self when the show hit me like a bolt from the blue. I hate this writer. I was studying at Brigham Young University. Returned from a Mormon proselytizing mission cut short by a diagnosis of bipolar disorder. This is the saddest fucking thing in the world. This mentally disturbed fucking unsocial Mormon. I felt bereft of life and thought I had figured out no longer the ambitious student, the unshakable older brother, the model Latter-day Saint. Then came a show about candy-colored ponies, learning to accept themselves and each other, one song and smile at a time. I hadn't watched an episode in years, but BronyCon reminded me how much I needed My Little Pony back then. That's a sentence you wrote. That is a sentence you wrote, man. How much you needed My Little... That is a thing that came from your mind onto the page. And how it strikes a chord in me still. In fact, until I sat down to write this essay, I didn't realize how much of my current life I owe to the show. It even indirectly led me to meeting my own wife. So while this year's BronyCon was the biggest, it was never more bittersweet. As convention chair Sheer Goldberg says, friendship is magic, you know. It's cliche, but the reason the fans stay in the fandom is the people. It's not the content or the merch. It's for all the people that created the stuff. That was exhausting. That was just really, really sad and exhausting. Somebody in the chat, Eternal Mormon. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Oh, Luke has some photos. Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God. What fresh hell have you showed me here, Luke? Luke has such sights to show us here. Hang on a second. So let me add this.
Oh, this next one's a bit dated, but it's Chris Chan from 2017 BronyCon.
I don't think we need to look at Chris Chan. Come on, it's nobody ever needs to see that man. There we go, folks. Friendship is magic. Can you feel the magic? I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the magic.
Why can't it just be a kid's phenomenon?
That's like old school My Little Pony designs. Hang on a second. Yeah, it looks like the old 80s My Little Pony designs. Why? Is that a man or a woman? What do you think? I don't know. I don't know. Luke, what are you doing here? Oh my God, Luke, what are you doing? Is that a pony ghost? That's a pony Ghostbuster, but it's the new Ghostbusters, the shitty Ghostbusters where it was 3 lesbians and a gorilla.
I need to find a way to control the stream.
How? Why would you combine My Little Ponies and Ghostbusters? And then why would you use the shittiest version of Ghostbusters you could? Can I share Skype? Let me see if I can share Skype real quick. Hang on a second. We have the technology. Surely we can do this. Window capture. Can I do Skype? No, it doesn't seem to work. Thought maybe we could do it, but it doesn't seem to work. Let me go ahead and show this picture because this is just fucking horrifying. Why is this a thing? Why is this a thing? Let's see. Sorry, folks. I'm learning this. I'm learning the thing here. I'm not good with it yet. Okay. I'm still better than Ben Shapiro is at his show, though.
Well, one-man production team. You're a one-man production team, Bechtloff.
Yeah, bear with me, folks. Here we go. So somebody decided, you know what? I want to know what would happen if Pinkie Pie, which is I know the character Pinkie Pie. That's the one character I actually know. Pinkie Pie. What if Pinkie Pie was a member of the really terrible 2016 Ghostbusters? And now you know. That seems like a demon the Ghostbusters should be trying to trap in the containment unit. Why? Why? Why is any of that? Why? And yet when the red flag law is passed, this idiot will be able to keep his guns. Oh, God help us all. God help us all. Well, speaking of autism, let's talk about Funko Pop, shall we? We got another article we're going to check a look at. And then maybe we'll get back to old Benji. If I have any energy left. Delete this. And we're going to go back to Windows Capture. Alrighty. So, this is off of Vox.com, so you know it's good. How aggressively cute toys for adults became a $686 million business. 8,000 plus characters. 29 Conan O'Brien dolls alone. Somewhere there's a nerd. They're called figurines, not dolls. 29 Conan O'Brien dolls alone inside Funko Pop's vinyl phenomenon. When 37-year-old Jack recently brought a woman back to his house after a date, she was taken aback by his spare room, stacked in neat boxes from the floor to the ceiling. Exactly 1,080 plastic figurines fill the rec room in Jack's California home. Over the past 4 years, the grape farmer, who is identified here by a pseudonym, has spent more than $9,000 on the toys. Each of Jack's toys have a pair of large, vacant black eyes, a square head, and a disproportionately small body. They are pop vinyl figures created by the 20-year-old company Funko Inc., based in Washington State and launched in 2001. Known to fans simply as Funko Pops, each toy is based on a pop culture character, and according to the official Funko app, there are now 8,366 different figures. Alongside the expected superheroes, you can buy Funko Pops of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, or whatever. The Pillsbury Doughboy, Tupac Shakur, Abraham Lincoln, Cece from New Girl, I don't know what that even is, a shark from Sharknado, and the son of the creator of Van Shoes, Stephen Van Doren. Why the fuck would that be a thing? Everyone, the official Funko motto goes, is a fan of something. And here we have this fucking hellscape. Good God. And I don't even hate Funko Pop. Like, look, Funko Pops are one of those things that are insanely fucking, I guess polarizing is the term for it. I don't even hate the little things, to be honest with you. I actually have a couple of them. I have, I had a Cthulhu, but actually, Loki chewed that up, before he died. I had a, no, actually it wasn't Loki. It was the new dog, Danny. He chewed it up. So that went in the trash. But I had a Cthulhu someone got me for a birthday or Christmas or something. I got a Trump back during the Trump election. I didn't get a ton of MAGA merchandise. I wasn't buying confetti coffee. But I got the little Trump guy. I figured it looked cool on the bookshelf. And I got a Spider-Man for Christmas one year. Way back. He's like, it's the same company, but I think it's a little bit smaller, and they were still bobbleheads at the time. And I got a Mega Man, I got a Proto Man, I got a Red Sonja, a Lara Croft, and a Freddy Krueger. And that's just because they're things you don't see that much merchandise of. And I thought they looked alright. I don't buy a ton of them. You know, you see them in every fucking store. I don't generally get tons of them. I think the sheer volume of them out there is fucking obnoxious. Like, you know, you go to a comic book store and the whole fucking corner of the damn place is devoted to these fucking things. That said, though, I don't find them objectionable or outright hate them the way a lot of people do. I really don't get, like, why would you just collect Funko Pops in and of themselves? That's something I don't get. Like, wouldn't you collect Funko Pops of things you like? I don't get the person that just collects all the Funko Pops, other than just being a speculator, I guess. And Speculators are, of course, cancer in any fucking hobby. But good God, like that's... And why did they... I don't know. It's still in their boxes, too? Like, if you buy a figurine like that, isn't it because you want to display it somewhere? I mean, I guess he's technically displaying it, but, like, you know, put it on your bookshelf or something? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Look at all this filth. It's not filth. It's a glorious monument to the achievements of the 20th century.
We take pride in the...
A real beanie baby. Oh, a Mr. Spot collector's plate. Oh, some Bart Simpson dolls.
We take pride in the fact that we can pop... Oh, I have a Bulbasaur one, too. Somebody got that off the wish list, actually. We take pride in the fact that we can popify about anything, says Sean Wilkinson, Funko's creative director, who has been with the company since its inception. There's nothing we won't do at this point. Well, that's disturbing. Funko Pops are now available from 25,000 retail brands worldwide, from Walmart to Amazon to Hot Topic, and even, somewhat bizarrely, Foot Locker. That is fucking weird. Actually, I guess there's a bunch of sports ones. Like, there's ones of sports sports players, so I guess that makes sense. Yeah, we're not going to play the video there. The figure... in 2018, the company's net sales increased 33% from 686.1 million, with figurines accounting for 82% of the sales. Funko actually does some action figures, which aren't bad. Whether you hate Funko Pops or not, like they do a lot of retro action figures that are sort of designed with limited articulation. They're cheap and they're designed to look like old school action figures. And I've picked up a few over the year. I got a Scrooge McDuck a little while back, like old DuckTales, and somebody got me a Gizmo Duck off the wish list. They're pretty cool. Oh, and they put out Mega Man ones here recently. It was a bunch of recolors of Mega Man, but they had a Dr. Wily in there, which I picked up. You know, how often do you see a Dr. Wily figure? Let's see. After the company released its Q2 earnings early in August, declaring the sales are up 38% compared to last year, CEO Brian Mariotti called his company recession-proof. Well, that is just begging to fucking die. Nothing is recession-proof. Least of all pieces of fucking vinyl that no one needs. Alright, you are the definition of something that is purchased merely with disposable income. You are not recession-proof. It's likely you've now encountered a Funko Pop, be it on a coworker's desk, wrapped under a Christmas tree, or waiting blank-eyed at your date's home. What exactly are the figurines so phenomenally popular? How did the company come to dominate the pop culture merchandising market? I can tell you exactly how they dominated the merchandise market. Because they went after every fucking license they possibly could. There are Funko Pops of fucking everything. Which means that a lot of people are bound to have picked up one. Yeah, the weirdos that have the fucking spare room full of them, you know, and a basement of dead hookers. That's the exception. But everybody's bound to have picked up one, you know? Something you're a big fan of that doesn't get a ton of them. Yeah, you're going to pick it up. Let's see. When I walk into my room full of Pops, I look around and just be blasted by nostalgia, Jack said of his collection. It's like you can have characters from an old Mexican TV show, you can have a Care Bear, and you can have John Wick and Elvira, and they all look right together. They're kind of uniform. You have all these different genres together in one concise collection. Collectors like Jack make up 36% of Funko's customers, while 31% are occasional buyers. Wilkinson says Funko Pops appeal to both markets because of the science of cute behind the figurines design. It's weird. I've heard a lot of people are actually like downright fucking triggered by the designs. There's a lot of people who despise the designs. Like, it just bothers them on a visceral level. Again, I think they're okay looking. I don't have a strong opinion of them one way or another. There's literally a certain height of eyes, a certain width apart, and the head being 2/3 the size of the body, it sets a ratio. Like baby animals with big eyes that are kind of far apart. It's sort of born in us to be attracted to these things. Wilkinson said because of the strategic design decisions, there are many reluctant pop collectors. A lot of people didn't want to like these. Then they'd buy one, they'd buy two, and suddenly they're hooked. Again, I think the fact that you just have so many fucking things that don't get a lot of merchandise is a key there. Yeah, it's also undeniable that many people find Funko Pops ugly or unnerving. In the past 2 months, a YouTube video titled I Hate Pop Vinyls. Who's that from? Is that I Hate Everything? I think that's I Hate Everything. He's got a good channel, by the way. Yeah, that's I Hate Everything. Good channel, I Hate Everything. Check him out, by the way. His search for the worst stuff is fantastic. Has accumulated more than 1 million views. The Dory one looks like the physical manifestation of human sin, reads the top comment on the video, with more than 1,500 likes. For what it's worth, Wilkinson acknowledges that designing fish Funkos is hard. Anything with eyes on the side of its head is always a bit of a challenge. That's the one thing I really am horrified with the Funko Pops. When you have a basic humanoid character with a iconic or recognizable costume, Freddy Krueger, Mega Man, for example. The ones I have, for example. Lara Croft or Red Sonja. It's easy to translate that character into their template. But yeah, something like Dory should never have been a Funko Pop. Because Dory is... Right now I can tell you Dory looks horrifying. That does not look cute at all. Surprisingly, avid collector Jack is among those who find Pops creepy looking, and even describes some designs as very off-putting, citing an original Goofy Pop with drooping eyelids over pupilless eyes. There are some that are very ugly and creepy, so I wouldn't call them cute, he says. I just find them very interesting. Jack says the main appeal of the toys is you can purchase characters that aren't normally seen in collectible form. Yeah, that's my point. Like Travis from Taxi Driver. That's fucked up. When's the last time you saw a collectible for him? You know shit. Or Vincent Vega from Pulp Fiction. When's the last... When you see something like that, something you absolutely love, and it's only $10, why not pick it up? That is exactly where they dominate. He's dead right there. Okay, so you got a character from Pulp Fiction. There's somebody who Pulp Fiction is their favorite fucking movie in the universe, and they have no interest in picking up a pop, but they see Pulp Fiction fucking pops. It's $10 a pop, and they say, "Why the fuck $10 a pop?" No pun intended. Why the fuck not? I guarantee you that is a massive key to their success. Funko now has more than 1,000 licensed properties, from the Avengers to the Golden Girls, Fortnite to Flash Gordon, Stranger Things to The Office. Evergreen and classic properties like Harry Potter, Star Wars, and Disney make up nearly half of all Funko Pops. But the company is seemingly constantly procuring new, unexpected licenses from drag queens, dear lord, to food mascots to NASCAR drivers. Our brand identity is able to say that we have something for literally everyone, says Dolly. I'm not even going to bother with that last name. Funko's VP of Licensing and Business and Development. Dolly says the company constantly looks out for new licensees by searching fans forums and listening to Funko collectors. The company calls them fanatics about what they want to see next. Old franchises, she says, are a huge hit. We live in a world where there is a lot of nostalgia at play. People have a lot of affinity for brands and shows from the 80s and 90s, she said. Yet hunting down licenses for obscure properties can be challenging. Sometimes those licenses aren't even open for licensing anymore. Studios give up the rights and we can't track down the talent, she explains. Nonetheless, the hunt usually pays off. Dolly said the license for Pokemon took a long time to procure, but ended up being huge for the company. It was a long process to get Pokemon to allow their characters to be stylized like Pop, but they were super excited about the line, she says. Adding that despite limited distribution, Pokemon is now Pop's 11th most popular property. Still, the job has gotten markedly easier for Dolly and her team in recent years. Where they once had to educate potential partners about Funko Pop, now brands come to them in hopes of being popified. Popified is a word I just said. Once upon a time, we had to really educate our partners on who we were and how we were different from traditional coin companies or collectible companies, Dolly said. Again, I'm not saying her fucking last name. I'm not going to get it right. But now now people in the industry are very familiar with our product and our stylization, so we have our own swim line. How exactly did this brand achieve notoriety? Dolly says Funko's approach is similar to that of the fast fashion world. Products are frequently licensed, designed, and released in a matter of months, and some available within 70 days. When Game of Thrones' final season aired earlier this year, the company worked directly with HBO after each episode to get new Funko Pop concepts out for pre-sale. We react and get the product in motion even much earlier than we can actually get the physical plastic on the shelves. A May 2019 investor presentation from the company boasts that Pop can be designed and submitted to licensors in 24 hours, molded into a prototype in 45 days, and sourced from Asian facilities, of course, while maintaining quality control in just 15 days. Funko also prides itself on low production costs. Each new figure costs between $5,000 and $7,500 to develop. Again, that's why these things are so cheap. That's another thing that means they appeal to everybody, or to a lot of people, because they're dirt fucking cheap. Perhaps the greatest trick Funko ever pulled is releasing multiple iterations of the same character, whether in different costumes or poses, or painted with glitter or chrome. On the Funko website, there are 29 distinct figurines of TV host Conan O'Brien. Or you can get the comedian dressed as Jon Snow, or Armenian folk dancer, or Pennywise the Clown, or even just painted entirely orange. Yeah, good God. Like, again, I know everybody's a fan of something, but if you need 29 fucking Conan O'Brien Funko Pops and you're not actually Conan O'Brien, you need to reevaluate your life. It's demand, really. We've probably made 50 Iron Mans, but that's because Iron Man is so hot. It's also because Iron Man had like 50 different armors you could use. Something like a superhero where there's different costumes. I can kind of get it. Releasing new versions of already heavily popified characters can be a challenge. The next Avengers comes along, and we've got to come up with 3 more Iron Mans, Wilkin says, explaining the company will study movie scenes closely to come up with new poses, costumes, and scenarios for figurines. People want Batman. It blows my mind how many versions we've done. They continue to sell, and so, sales come to us and says, Son, what other Batman can we do? That doesn't sound right grammatically. What other Batman can we do? Should it be Batmen? Batmans? I don't know. I want to say that should be Batmen. I don't know. Somebody call Arini from his drunken stupor to get Mr. Grammar Nazi in here. Is there something we haven't thought of? Jack says he doesn't feel the need to collect every Funko Pop ever made, instead focusing on franchises he's a fan of. I want to reiterate that. Jack here focuses on franchises he's a fan of. Holy fucking shit, Jack. You are a fan of a lot of things. You are a man of varied tastes. Man. Alright, let's keep going. Where were we? Occasionally, he'll even pass on Pops based on shows that he likes. He doesn't want to collect the Office figurines because they're plain, simply depicting men in suits. As more and more characters become Funko Pop, Wilson admits that some might not pass the company's sandbox test. The idea that a figure would be instantly recognizable if pulled from the sand in 10 years. The near indistinguishable Modern Family range inspired some backlash last year, and commenters on Reddit's Funko fan page called the toys bland as fuck, the newest generic human collection, and sad. Is it possible then that Funko will run out of things to pop? At present, the company's profit continues to climb from $98 million gross profits in 2015, when Funko just had 205 active properties, to $258 million in 2018. History has shown us that collectibles tend to decline in popularity, and what is possible if Funko could go the way of the Beanie Baby. Yet at present, there are more than enough fans keeping the company in business. Jack, 18-year-old Tristan from Canada, has more than 1,000 Funko Pops, and he estimates he has spent between $15,000 and $17,000 on the toys. And this man is 18? His most expensive purchase was a $110 Jollibee, the mascot of a Filipino fast food brand. $110. It's fun to collect them. They're everywhere. They're also neat to look at. He explains everyone has their own kind of features and not personalities, because that sounds weird. But stuff about them that makes me a blah, 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 blah. Oh, good God. Both Jack and Tristan run YouTube channels dedicated to their hobby, and advertising revenue earned via the site helps them afford more toys. A few years ago, Tristan had to wait until birthdays and Christmas to get no Funko Pops. Now his collection has grown by the day. Whenever I can, I'll pick up a new one. To encourage collectors, Funko has uses many tried and tested marketing tricks, like releasing toys exclusive to certain locations. Mr. Rogers is exclusive to Barnes & Noble, and producing limited edition runs. Only 480 holographic Darth Mauls were released at the San Diego Comic-Con in 2012. 480... Good God, dude. If... Fucking Darth Maul, really? Like, who is still a Star Wars fan this day and age? And he's not even like Darth Vader. You're going with Darth Maul? If the company doesn't just rely on people like Jack and Tristan, a third of all customers are only occasional buyers. And the customer base appears to be a diverse set of people with a diverse range of fandoms. In 2018, no single property made up more than 6% of purchases. Pops related to new theatrical releases encompasses 20% of sales. TV show related Pops accounts for 16%, and gaming Pops accounts for 17%. There's a roughly equal gender split in company, 51% women to 49% men. I'm a little surprised to find out it's mostly women. And last year, international sales grew 57%. So everybody, by the way, is thinking the Funko Pop thing's going to die down like any minute. Like everybody's predicting, oh, it's going to collapse. It doesn't look like it. Interestingly, Funko's average customer range is 35 years old. That's not surprising at all. 2 years younger than Jack, who says his date recovered from seeing his spare room. The rest of the night went very well, and we went on several more dates, he says. Although it ultimately didn't work out with her, Jack says his crazy room of Funko Pops didn't have too much influence on it either way. For Wilkinson, the past few years have been a whirlwind. I feel like I discovered a new thing. We're making a new company. We're buying almost every other week, he says. 10 years ago, Funko, which had grown a loyal customer base for its bobblehead range, was feeling the heat of a declining fad. Now it's the world's biggest, most recognizable pop culture merchandise. It's just bigger and more, says Wilkinson. I continue to be wowed by how fanatical people are about the stuff and how much they appreciate what we're doing. A few weeks before we speak, Wilkinson attended Comic-Con and was blown away to see fans almost in tears because of how much they love Funko Pops. I don't know that a whole lot of people, many maybe doctors and firemen, get the feeling of appreciation for what you do, he says. It's really rewarding. I pinch myself regularly and get tingly even after all this time. I haven't gotten any more jaded. It's been a great ride. Dear God. What is wrong with people? What? Come on. Come on, people. I just... What are you doing? Somebody in the chat says, every day we stray further from God. Every year Funko Pop sales go up. Coincidence? Somebody says, imagine being so bland that even Reddit complained. Yeah, no shit. Somebody points out they made Pac-Man Square because of course they did. Yeah, I saw the Pac-Man one like a year or so ago. I'm like, I don't know about this one, guys. You know, I think the Sonic one looks like shit too. Again, generally, you know, if you have a character that is humanoid, you know, let's not say human, because, you know, it could be a Klingon or who the fuck knows, but humanoid, and it has a recognizable, let's say, costume or uniform or whatever, then yeah, you could probably make a decent looking Funko out of it. But this, you need to stop when you're trying to make a fish into a Funko Pop. Ugh. Let's see. Will Funko Pop be the currency of the post-apocalyptic world? Possibly. Pogs are recession-proof. Yes, indeed. I actually explained to a coworker what Pogs were. Like, sometime this week, I think it was. A kid was like 22 or something. And I just kind of mentioned Pogs. Like, it's just an example of like a fad or something. He was like, what the hell's a Pog? I'm like, oh, well, sit down, young one. Let me tell you a story of my time. Let me tell you of the great Pog craze of 1995. What is this you sent me here, Luke? Twin Peaks? Is this a picture?
A Funko Pop of Laura Palmer. After she's dead.
Is that real? Like,
I can't confirm that.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna throw this in the. Yeah, look, I never watched Twin Peaks, so I couldn't tell you anything about Twin Peaks. I don't know who the fuck that is, but I'll tell you right now, it's disturbing to see a fucking dead chick wrapped up as a Funko Pop. So I don't know. Hang on, chat. We'll get it here in a second. Boomer Bechtloff, he's working on it.
I think it's real. I think it is real. I see it for $11.
That's fucking disturbing. So he says, "I'm a Zoomer. Explain this, Pogs." Oh, you guys want to hear the saga of Pogs, do you? Oh, well, sit back down and you'll hear a tale. So, in the mid-90s, we had a thing called Pogs. Now, what are Pogs, you might ask? Well, originally this started as a game that was played in Hawaii called Milk Caps, in which you would stack up these little quote-unquote milk caps, and you would stack them up upside down in a stack, and you would hit them with what was called a slammer and attempt to knock them over, and the ones you flipped over you got to keep, and the person that kept the most at the end won. So then now Pog was an official company. Pogs are what we generally referred to all of them, but they were generally just called caps, or milk caps was the official name of them. Pogs were the company. Sort of like how you call a Band-Aid a Band-Aid, even though Band-Aid is a brand, or you would refer to a copy machine as a Xerox. So Pog was actually a brand. In fact, I gotta look up some shit. You're always taking me down memory lane. There was a mascot for Pogs. It was like this hairy dude that looked like fucking Captain Caveman. Pog's mascot. Let me. Can I find? Yeah, here we go. Okay, so
He looks kind of like the honeycomb monster.
I always thought he looked like fucking Captain Caveman. Okay, so here. Oh, that's all tiny. Damn it. Hang on, folks. I'm working on it. All right, Boomer Bechtloff's working on it. Okay, so we're gonna learn about fucking Pogs this week. No, it's not Paws. It's Pogs. You're getting pogged in the neg hole. No. So okay. Here we have the Pog mascot. I know. I kind of think he looks like Captain Caveman, which you fucking Zoomers probably really don't know what the fuck that is. But here we a very small one of him. He's hitting the slammer to hit the stack of Pogs. Now, Pogs then would get licenses. Now, not all of them were official Pogs. Some of them were just milk caps. But Pogs got every fucking license imaginable. Like, they were the Funko Pops of their time in that everything got slapped on a fucking Pog. Alright? I'm talking Power Rangers. I'm talking Simpsons. Back when that meant something, by the way. I'm talking fucking Marvel and DC, Image Comics. I'm talking fucking Saved by the Bell. You are listening to a motherfucker that had some Saved by the Bell Pogs. I ain't gonna lie to you. I had some fucking Pogs. I got me some fucking Pogs like you wouldn't believe. Because, much like the Funko Pops, here's the appeal to a kid. Pogs were dirt fucking cheap because they were just a piece of goddamn cardboard. Piece of damn card stock paper, essentially. With some bullshit printed on it, right? And then sometimes you'd get like a sheet and you had to punch the Pogs out by hand. And sometimes they came pre-sold. I picked up for like $10, and this was 1995, $10. But $10, I got 50 Simpsons Pogs, or maybe it was 100. But it was like all these different characters, and some were like obscure characters, like Smiling Joe Fishing. And there's so many fucking Pogs, you have no idea. So you would play the game of Pogs, right? And you would take all your Pogs that had all the licensed shit you had in there. You fucking Saved by the Bell, and you fucking Flintstones and Garfield and Spider-Man and Simpsons and every fucking thing. And you'd put them in a stack, and the other person would put the same amount of their Pogs in it. It would be kind of scrambled. And then you were supposed to play, and you got to keep the Pogs of the other person. But, you know, you didn't want your good Pogs to go into the stack, you know. Your good Pogs, because they're going to be worth something someday. You're totally not going to throw those out when you're 16. Fucking embarrassed that you bought them all. Oh, they were like fucking tubes. There were these tubes you could keep them in. And they were all fucking neon colors. Oh, man. Hang on, guys. We gotta look up some more shit. Look up Pog tubes. Pog tubes. Here we go. Good God, y'all don't fucking know. You all don't fucking know. You could buy, like, you know how trading cards have sheets that you can put them in like a binder? You know, like 9 cards in like a sheet. There were one of those for Pogs, specifically designed for fucking Pogs. Alf is back in Pog form. God. Oh, okay, so, now there weren't just licensed properties. There were, like, different oddball fucking art and shit like that. I think, like, 8 balls. Like, if you got an 8-ball Pog, that meant you lost or something. I can't remember. But, here we go. Alright, so we're going to look at some Pog tubes. Sorry, folks. Sorry. Okay. Here we go. So these are some tubes that you kept your Pogs in. It's official licensed product of the Pog Company, World Pog Federation. Oh, you better believe there were Pog tournaments for this fucking year and a half. There was a Pog fucking tournament. There were Pog tournaments in comic book stores and shit. They were just everywhere, man. You better fucking believe people were serious about their Pogs. And then, here we got some more Pogs. See, that one's cut into a weird design here, the 8-ball one. That's, oh man. There's your Pog tubes. Oh, good God. The fucking Pog Federation. Yes, indeed. The Pog Federation. That's a thing you fucking heard. Oh, man. I remember a kiosk at the mall would sell Pog singles. You could dig through and get all these fucking designs. And then there were the slammers. Slammers were the things you hit the Pog stack with, right? Slammers had fucking every design. Some of them came in plastic, some of them came in metal, some were thicker than others, whatever. I want to see if I can find a picture of it. I had a fucking, I'm not making this up. I had an Pog I had an O.J. Simpson Pog Slammer. I'm not making this up. Hang on. If I could find it, I'll show it to you. O.J. Slammer Pog. Oh, shit. That's it. There it is. I think I found it. I think I actually fucking found it. I had an O.J. Simpson fucking Pog Slammer. I'm not making this up. This is exactly what the fuck I had, too. Because I was like 12 years old when I saw this, and I thought it was fucking hilarious. Hang on. There it is, folks. OJ in the Slammer. Get it? That's very funny. Because I was 12. I fucking had that. That exact fucking thing. OJ Simpson Pog. Fucking Slammer. Oh my god. I'm trying to find like some of the ones I had. Oh lordy. Your OJ Simpson Pog. That's something you all just fucking now know exists. I hope you're happy with that information because try as you might, you can't unknow that. Let me see if I can find the Simpsons set. Simpsons Pogs. There's the joke. Alpha's back in Pog form. Yes, I know. There's an episode of The Simpsons where Milhouse buys Alf Pogs at the fucking comic book store, and he's like, "Remember Alf? He's back in Pog form." So yeah, here's the Simpsons Pogs. Let me see if I can bring them up. So he says, "You mean Pog, fat ass white girl?" No, it was not a fat ass. That was not that kind of Pog. Let's see. So here were the Simpsons Pogs. I think there were 100. Just all sorts of obscure characters. And this is back when the Simpsons is. That's another thing. Some of y'all are too young to remember. But I know the Simpsons is like a dumpster fire of a joke of a show now. But back for like the first, let's say, 8 seasons-ish, it was the best thing on television basically ever. So you got to keep that in mind. Like, Simpsons Pogs, that was holy crap, that's amazing. Back in the day. You traded my soul for Pogs. Yes, indeed. That was this. Remember Alf? He's back in Pog form. Oh, man. So, not only was Pogs a big thing, but you may not believe this, there was then a moral panic surrounding Pogs. I'm not making this part up. A fucking moral panic around the Pogs. Apparently, at least down in my area, I can't speak nationally, but at least down in my area, I grew up in Southern Maryland, Waldorf, Maryland, my old stomping grounds. Great place to grow up, by the way. Just the most suburb that ever suburbed. Like, it was so great, because, like, every place that wasn't developed was, like, really dense woods. So you could kind of go on, like, basically nature hikes and trails. But also there was, like, within bike riding distance, within a few miles of me, there was my school. There was all my friends' houses. There was, like, 3 or 4 shopping centers, including, like, a mall, or including, like, a comic book store and a fucking movie theater. There was also a mall. There was a really, really nice community pool. But back where I lived down there, and I believe it was because it spread all over Maryland. I want to say it was in Prince George's County because it was some black kid, some little Tyrone beat up somebody by hitting him with a metal slammer. You know, you could get slammers that were made of, like, pewter. So my school banned Pogs. They banned them. You couldn't have Pogs. Pogs were contraband. Couldn't have it. Moral fucking panic around Pogs. So yeah, there's your there's your great the great Pog fucking craze of '95. Good God, I almost kind of miss them now. Like now I want my Pogs back. I want all my Pogs back. Damn it. People are saying, by the way, the mic is like a little harsh and loud. I got it turned way down in OBS too. I don't know what's up with that. Somebody says again, kids used to get stabbed for Pokemon trading cards. And it's true. I mean, kids are just generally assholes, so you know. Let's see what else we got going on here. What else is there to talk about? We might have just. I don't know. Do we want to try and get through some more fucking Ben Shapiro? I don't want to get through Ben Shapiro. I just lighten the mood with Pogs. I don't want to fucking talk about Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro Pogs. That's what we need. Oh, goddamn. Let's see if I can find some other Pogs that I had. Let's see. No, I can't find Saved by the Bell Pogs. I know I had those. Because fucking Kelly was hot as shit. Let's see, what else? Marvel Pogs. I know I had some Spider-Man ones. Let's see. Fucking Pogs, man. See, now I wish I had my Pogs back. Why did I throw out my Pogs? It would have been worth something. No, they're worthless. They're absolutely fucking worthless. I could probably buy them all back for $1 on eBay or some shit. Buy 1 million fucking Pogs for $1. So, yeah. Oh, lordy. Visit the Flamecom website. It's a gay comic book convention in NYC this weekend. What? Alright, let's take a look at this. Flamecon.org. I already hate this. Alright, y'all trying to piss me off at the end. Yeah, I didn't get no super chats either this week. What are y'all doing? Y'all slacking. Y'all slacking. You better be getting some Steve's jerky there, Goy. Alright. Oh, man. So, we'll take a look at this and we'll probably wrap this up for the night. Y'all ready for this? Because I don't think you are. I wouldn't. This is not good. FlameCon, created by Geeks Out. Geeks Out is apparently a thing too. FlameCon 5 returns August 17th. Well, that's right now. How about that? We're missing FlameCon, guys. We could have been going to FlameCon. Damn it. I don't know if Butt Naked is selling at FlameCon. A new look at some flamies. Doesn't really tell you much about it. What's the vendors? Let's see about vendors. Lottery information. What the? Are there any pictures from FlameCon? Look at this. Look at this fucking cancer. Of course there's a person in a wheelchair. What the fuck? Ugh. Well, there you go, guys. You were missing FlameCon this week. I don't know. I don't know. You know, you could have gone to FlameCon. You might have found a vendor that was selling Pogs. Y'all damn kids don't know about the Pogs.
I'm surprised that FlameCon has a large attendance.
Like, am I even allowed to go? I'm straight. Am I allowed to go, or is that no good? I don't know.
Wikipedia describes it as an annual 2-day multi-genre entertainment and Comic-Con convention focused on fans and creators of pop culture who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, and queer.
Well, I want to go and set up a booth that sells Pogs. Can I do it? Okay, I'm bringing them back. I'm bringing them back, guys. Bulbasaur Pogs. Pokemon Pogs. Make that a thing.
Apparently 1,000 people were in attendance. 7,000 people were in attendance.
How about that?
I don't get it.
Alright, well, I think we're going to wrap this up, folks. This obviously went on a little longer than last week's because it was in a bit better spirits. I mean, don't get me wrong, the world is still crumbling. But, you know. Grids box. Yeah, that's the goal. We'll set up a crowdfunding thing we're gonna sell Manosphere Pogs at FlameCon. We're gonna have all the fucking people on there. Fucking Roosh. Fucking the alt-right Pogs. Collect your favorite fucking disaster of an internet personality. It's one of the Pogs. It's gonna be the rare chase one. It's gonna be the one in 1,000 Pog when you buy your packs of Pogs. But it's gonna be the guy beating up the guy who was banging his mother-in-law. That fat guy from the traditional socialist party. He's gonna be beating up the other guy. That's gonna be the. We're gonna put that on like a Pog that has like that nice little hologram kind of foil effect. It's gonna be a 3D model of them doing it. Like you can.
Matthew Heimbach is back in Pog form.
It's gonna be a fucking dude. Like you hold it up to the light. It's a little 3D scene on it. Richard Spencer Pogs available at FlameCon. Okay.
That's fantastic.
You're gonna get some Davis Arini Pogs. They're gonna be big sellers. Well, you know, at that con, I might be able to get big seller if I got the one Pog that shows him banging the tranny. Allegedly. Oh, Lordy. I don't know why, but just reminiscing about Pogs really fucking cheered me up. It's so stupid, but I loved them so much when I was a kid. Pog the Negro. That's what I'll call my fucking stand. I will call it Pogging the Negro. I'll cosplay as the hairy Captain Caveman Pog mascot.
Pretty sorry. I kinda traded your soul to the guy at the comic book store. But look, I got some cool Pogs. Elf Pogs.
Tom Z sends $1.99. Thank you, Tom.
Remember Elf? He's back in Pog form.
Yeah, the traditionalist socialist party is back in Pog form. The alt-right's back in Pog form. That's what I should call tonight's episode, actually. When I edit the video, I'm going to edit the description. We're going to call tonight's episode "The Alt-Right is Back in Pog Form."
You traded my soul for Pogs?
All right, folks. That's it for tonight. I want to thank you all for listening. If you enjoy the content I put out, do consider supporting the show. I apologize for the mic quality tonight. I'm going to try and get like a... one of those little like gain filters or whatever fucking for Mike. I might even throw that up on the wish list, because if you support the show, you can check out the PayPal, Patreon, and Amazon wish list. PayPal, you can send a one-time donation of any amount at any time. Patreon, you can become a regular supporter of any amount at any time. And boy, if we can get over Davis Arini on Patreon, I will just be so fucking happy. It's not about the money. It's about sending a message. Also, PayPal, Patreon, Amazon wishlist, all ways you can support the show. You can also support the show merely by liking, commenting, and subscribing, all that good shit. And also check out our sponsor, Steve's Jerky. Get you some delicious jerky. That is all we got for tonight, folks. I want to thank you all for listening. Bechtloff.